This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the car. Well, the Oilers, they are having not such a quiet afternoon, doing some work, and obviously that started today with the Jesse Puljujärvi news and is carried into this afternoon's blockbuster involving Tyson Barrie, Reid Schaefer, a first-round pick, and a fourth-rounder in 2020 some odd year for Mattias Ekholm, friends. I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. Thank you so much for tuning in to tonight's pre-video live stream here as we recap the trade today. But if you're new to the channel, what I want you to do beforehand is just consider hitting that subscribe button. I'd love to have you aboard to watch all things Oilers here into the trade deadline, and of course as we go throughout the rest of the season. But friends, it is a massive day for the Oilers today, clearing space for Jesse Puljujärvi to get a new start, and then taking back a new Finnish prospect, but also acquiring that big bad defenseman we needed on the back end in Mattias Ekholm, who is going to be an absolute beauty for this Edmonton Oilers team should things come together. It sucks to lose Tyson Barrie, but as it comes together right now for the Edmonton Oilers, it is a big time trade. So the trade is Mattias Ekholm at 4% retained, so that gets him down to $6 million against the Oilers cap, and well, here too, a 6th round pick from the Nashville Predators gets us going here to the return for the Oilers, which, my friends, sorry for the shaky camera, by the way, I really do apologize. It's the best I can do on limited time, but it is a return of Tyson Barrie, which is $4.5 million of cap space, cleared off the Oilers' books in return for that $6 million from Ekholm, a first-round pick in 2023, and of course, yes, too, a Reid Schaefer going back in the trade. There was a lot of talk about Reid Schaefer over the past month for the Oilers trading him, and that is indeed what ends up happening. And my goodness, have the Seattle Thunderbirds traded and had a lot of players traded at all levels this season, and the Seattle Thunderbirds see Reid Schaefer's NHL rights handed over to Nashville in exchange for Mattias Ekholm. Now the fancy thing is here too, the Oilers give up that first rounder in 2023 and a 4th rounder in a year to come, and that's where the things come for the Oilers. I think Mattias Ekholm either has 2 years or 3 years left on his NHL deal, so there's not too much time really left at that big cap hit of $6 million, but the Oilers bonify the defense. The top 4 is solidified now. You've got Cody Ceci, Darnell Nurse on the top pair, Mattias Ekholm, Evan Bouchard on the second pair. I see that's what everybody is coming in talking about right now in the chat. But as it comes together for the Edmonton Oilers, friends, why is Mattias Ekholm such a big piece to this blue line? Well, you look, I called him last night Duncan Keith-esque type player, and that's exactly what he's going to do here for Evan Bouchard this season into the playoffs. Is he's a guy who calms down younger guys. He's been playing with Carrier and I believe Fabro on the Predators blue line and done just fine D-lining with them. So that's where it comes together for the Oilers, is they get an absolute beauty of a guy who's a veteran at 32 years old, 6'4", 215 pounds, and can absolutely rock and roll on the blue line. You know he can throw that punishing hit, but he can also defend with the best of them. This too also allows Mr. Vinny Desharnais to take a full role on the right-hand side for the Oilers, and that's not a bad thing. It's absolutely fantastic to see another big guy on the blue line gets a major role on this Oilers team, because here's the thing, right, is you wanted big bad defensemen on this team. By trading away Tyson Barrie, you take another undersized guy off our blue line, give Vinny Desharnais elevated, well-meaning minutes, and now all of a sudden things can come together for the Oilers, because Philip Broberg is your second option on the left-hand side. I guess your 7th defenseman would make more sense. Sorry, what I was getting to is he is your second option on the power play, so he is your second power play quarterback. This is all, I was talking to my contact down there in Bakersfield that I talk about all the time, and it's just one of those things where we're going back and forth, and it's simply, this may very well have been the plan all along for the Edmonton Oilers, is getting a guy like Mattias Ekholm, a veteran, big-time blue liner for the next several years, to take the load off Nurse when the load needs to come off Nurse, and then boom, right? You've got your prospects developing all in the same breath, and it comes together for the Oilers just like that. Because you look at it, I mean, the top six now is Darnell Nurse, Cody Ceci, Mattias Ekholm, Evan Bouchard, and now you've got Brett Kulak and Vinny Desharnais, who, oh, by the way, if you've been watching the Oilers play, have been the pair for a long time now over the past about 7 games that Vinny Desharnais has played. He has played the majority of his minutes, I would say, with Brett Kulak. And then bang, you've got Philip Broberg as your 7th defenseman and your 2nd power play unit guy. So when the Oilers do, down the stretch, need to rest Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and the big boys, and Evan Bouchard will need to rest as well, Darnell Nurse and Philip Broberg will be out there, in my opinion, on the 2nd power play unit, eating up some minutes, especially in games where the Oilers do have to rest those guys. And sorry, I just need to switch to my other hand. You can see I kind of live out of my car. I've got clothes in the back seat. It just is what it is. But it's really an exciting time to be an Oilers fan. These are the moves we have waited for all this time. And now all of a sudden we've got things rocking here for the Oilers. Ken Holland has made his big moves, and we've got roughly about $1.75 million, if you follow Ken Holland's numbers today, in cap space available for the trade deadline, which means if we don't move anyone else, we can add upwards of a $7 million right-hand shot player in the top 6, top 9, bottom 6, fourth line, whatever you want to say. The Oilers still have plenty of room to make some very impactful moves here at the trade deadline. Whether they want to add 1 player or 2 players, that's completely up to them. But there is, it needs to just kind of happen, is what I'm seeing in the chat here, is the Oilers have a bunch of moves that they can possibly make. And I think, right, is Nick Bjugstad would look great in the Oilers' bottom 6. I think there's a ton of other guys. I really wanted to see if Ken Holland was somehow going to be able to add Colton Sissons of the Nashville Predators. He would have been a fantastic add into the Oilers' top 9 should they have been able to get a hold of him, but they aren't able to get this going, so that's where it is. But all in all, I see now the first few questions on, do I like the trade? I love the trade. Does it suck giving up Tyson Barrie? Yes. Does it suck giving up Reid Schaefer? Yes. But you got to give to get, and my friends, the Oilers have given to got. And all of a sudden, Mattias Ekholm, after, I've been talking about Ekholm for as long as I've been doing Oilers YouTube, Mattias Ekholm is an Edmonton Oiler at long last, and that feels dang good to say, because the Oilers get a 6'4", 215-pound blue liner who is absolutely going to rock some worlds in the NHL playoffs for the Edmonton Oilers, right? We found out exactly what kind of team we were against the Boston Bruins last night. With Jesse Puljujärvi in the lineup and no Mattias Ekholm, we could stand there right there with them. And now all of a sudden, yeah, we stand there right there with them. And it comes together now with Ekholm and of course Puljujärvi out of the lineup. All we need is a top 9, in my opinion, right winger that's worth a dang, and we are going to be just fine and dandy, my friends. And if you haven't left a like on the stream yet, I guess I would ask that. I've just seen it creep up over 10, so definitely please, we are going to be good right there. But as we're getting going, you know what, we're rocking and rolling into the final days before trade deadline. This is just a point I want to make. Obviously, things are going to change here rapidly over the next little bit, so really want to thank everybody. I've got probably the largest audience in terms of trade rumors and trade people in here that tune into all the trade rumor videos, but I just want to say thank you so much for sticking with me here over the past several months of trade rumors. But you know what, end of day, we get a chance now to wrap it all up here in the next few days and then go on to the playoff run, and I'm very much so looking forward to that. And plus, there is a little bit of an extra add to Dolynny TV and the Oilers Fanatic Network here that we're building in the background coming up at the end of April. So I'd love to have you aboard if you'd be so kind to hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for that if you haven't, and if you're a regular subscriber, I'd love to have you aboard for that tournament that we're hoping to secure here at the end of March. But the Oilers make their big move today, friends, and guess what? We are just that much closer to the NHL trade deadline wrapping up for the Oilers at long last. And that's my point really at the end of the day, is we're this close to it being done. Thank goodness. We're excited. And Gillies TV, yeah, he's coming in here. He'll be over there in the tournament as well. The full package is yet to be announced, so once I get the full details, we'll announce it. But we're that close, friends. It's Mattias Ekholm and a 6th-round pick to the Edmonton Oilers in exchange for Tyson Barrie, a 1st-round pick, Reid Schaefer, and of course, yes, too, a 4th-round pick in a year to come. But our 1st-round pick now gone, our 1st-round pick from last year, Reid Schaefer, now gone, and now, of course, Tyson Barrie as well. The Oilers have $1.5 million of cap space, friends. So that's where we sit going into the trade deadline. I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm up on out of here.